A lot of women think that radiating femininity is an act. A lot of women think that radiating femininity is something that you do. In fact, radiating femininity is something that you are. And a lot of times you're just not in touch with who you really are. Me, as a recipient of femininity, as a man who senses femininity in a woman, as a man who is influenced by femininity, femininity is not an act. It is an energy. And that energy encompasses all the little things that I'm going to talk about in this video. And if you manage to apply what I'm about to tell you in this video, without a shadow of a doubt, you will be able to project that feminine energy. Why? Because it's already within you. The issue is that the past or your self-consciousness is just blocking it. It's as simple as that. And the irony is that trying to project femininity blocks it. What I'm going to show you is how to let go and naturally allow the feminine energy to ooze out of you, like the condensation in a bottle of water. It'll just come out naturally, right? So the first step, become aware of your inner emotional state. Learning how to develop self-awareness is the first step to allowing feminine energy to flow through you. Because you see, it's funny because it's not even really about allowing feminine energy to flow through you. It really isn't. Because even if you're a man, for example, if you're a man and I were to tell you how to project masculinity, I wouldn't tell you to act all bravado to get muscles. No, I wouldn't tell you that. I would tell you to let go, because every man has an inner masculine and every woman has an inner feminine. There's no need to recreate what's already there. Do not reinvent the wheel. You are already feminine inside of you. The issue is that when you try to consciously project femininity, it gets in the way. So it's all about being and not trying, not doing. So the first step is becoming self-aware of your inner emotional state. When you become self-aware of your inner emotional state, which you could do that through developing a meditation practice. Developing meditation, just start meditating 5 minutes a day as a start. But once you begin to start doing that, then you can begin to apply the other strategies that I'm about to teach. Why? Because it requires you to slow down. When you're not aware of your inner emotional state, you're not aware of the little things that you're doing, the little twitches, the little movements, the quick movements, what's blocking you. You're not aware of when you feel yourself being blocked because you're so self-conscious of how you're coming across. So developing a meditation practice will allow you to become aware of what you're feeling inside of you and let go of the need to make yourself feel better. You see, it's all about not trying. So how do you do that? Let me show you a simple meditation. Right now, try not to feel better. Whatever you're feeling right now, whatever you're experiencing right now, don't try to feel better. Don't try to change what you're feeling, and don't try to change anything that's around you. Just be for 10 seconds. Don't try to feel better. What you notice is that your senses open up. You become more relaxed. As a man, this letting go will project masculinity. As a woman, this art of letting go will project femininity. It is not about creating what's not inside. It's like a Kamehameha wave, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, right? The Kamehameha is already inside of you. The chi is already inside of you. All you're doing is releasing it. So that's the first thing, developing self-awareness to let go. Once you develop that self-awareness, then you can start altering your behavior in subtle ways, because it is not a drastic change. It is a subtle change. The little things add up to a bigger picture, right? So how do you do this? One, you first learn to speak slower. Speaking slower and speaking softer. Almost as though you just woke up and you're barely awake and you don't want to get up. Why is that? Relaxation as a man produces a masculine voice. Relaxation as a woman produces a feminine voice. If I talk like this and I'm tense, and I'm really tense and speaking from the top of my voice, naturally it's gonna sound not masculine, right? But if I talk relaxed, it's gonna sound a little bit more masculine. So do you see what I'm trying to say? It's all about allowing what's inside of you already to radiate. You are not ruined. You are not broken. What's wrong with you is that you're being blocked. Usually what blocks you is just your insecurities that come from your ego. So if it's your ego that's creating all of these blockages, or like in your arteries, like with cholesterol, then all you got to do is let go. It's not about changing that behavior. So learn to relax your voice. Learn to speak slower as well. Use speaking and talking as a meditation. This is why I believe you have to turn your whole life into a meditation practice. This is why I believe you have to turn even moving, walking, eating as a meditation. That's what I do. I've turned everything in my life into a meditation. I am meditating 24/7. Why? Because yeah, it projects masculinity, sure, but also it just makes you happier. You're more in the present moment. Right? So learn to speak in a mindful way. What happens is that when you learn to speak in a mindful way, you naturally project femininity. It's just that simple, people. And what causes you to speak in the opposite direction? When you're nervous, when you're self-conscious, your things tighten up. Like things tighten up when you're nervous. Even when something is about to happen, your muscles tighten up. So it's not just your muscles that tighten up, also your vocal cords tighten up because they're also muscles. If you just relax, learn breathing techniques and talk while you breathe in a relaxing way, learn to enjoy the art of talking and not just talking and babbling, you're going to notice that it's going to come across as more feminine. But whenever you're mad, keeping it real, I ain't doing that shit, nigga, you know, talking like trying to keep it real, you know, like that's just going to come across as too masculine, and you don't want to do that. It's funny, right? Because there's nothing wrong, for example, as a man, there's nothing wrong as a man to project feminine traits, but it's a byproduct of my relaxation, because I also, within me, there is also an inner woman within me, but it just comes out almost as though you're breaking down the walls and allowing the water to flow through. But when you're insecure, what happens is that your masculinity gets infected with a venom. And that venom is going to come across as feminine, but not a good feminine, but an insecurity. Like it's like an insecure masculinity that is perceived as a feminine, but as a negative thing. It's the same thing with a woman, right? When you allow yourself to let go, a lot of things happen. It's not just that your tone of voice. Come here, Missy. It's not just that your tone of voice becomes more feminine, but also your relaxation. You become more relaxed, and a lot of masculine traits that are positive will radiate from within, and you'll be able to mix a masculine and a feminine. Why? Because actually the truth of the matter is that yes, your femininity is important. Your femininity lowers the defenses, but is your natural masculinity is what makes you stand out, ladies and gentlemen. We could talk about that another time. So now that we understand how to talk in a relaxed way, and it's just gonna take self-awareness. This is why I say become aware of your emotions first. Once you're aware of your emotions first, you create space to become aware of other things that's happening inside of you. Because lack of self-awareness, you're gonna allow a lot of negative energy to infiltrate your inner space. So once you become aware of your voice through meditation, the more you meditate, the more you become self-aware of your voice. Then you could then learn how to move in a feminine way. And how do you do that? It's just moving slower. And there's even a meditation that I do when I'm in my home, is that I move slower. Everything is slower. Rather than picking up like this, I pick things up like this. Rather than getting up like this, I get up like this. I move. I notice every single limb that's moving. When somebody calls my name, Delexis, I don't go like that. I go like, they say Delexis, I go like, right? Moving slower just creates a grace that comes across as feminine as a woman and masculine as a man, right? So just learn to move slower, and you pretty much do this through developing a meditation practice or doing Tai Chi. Tai Chi is another form of meditation. It's just moving slower, right? And I do Tai Chi as well to relax me. But what also happens is that you just learn to move slower, right? Now, another thing that you could do in terms of talking is learning to speak without your words, right? When somebody says, Alexis, nice to see you, I could say, yeah, nice to see you, man. Or I could say, right? Or somebody says, Delexis, are you coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Or I could just say, Delexis, are you coming? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Learning to have an economy of motions, learning to have an economy of words. It'll just give you more of a feminine energy that just radiates from within. And this is the thing, is that people are not aware of what you're doing. This is the thing. They're not aware of it. They're not going to say, oh my God, look, he's moving slower. Oh, she's moving slower. She's doing that feminine thing. No. They're just going to, they're going to have the overall impression that you're feminine. Because people don't know what they're looking at a lot of the times. They just react. It's like a good painting. They don't know why. That's my dog right there. They don't know why a painting is good. They just like it, right? It's like when you see a man. Women don't know why a man is attractive. But a lot of time, it's because they have masculine traits. Strong jawline. More a narrow ratio. That's not, there's a lot of things. My fault, man. I forgot about that. But there's a lot of things that add up to a masculine trait. To a masculine trait. That, for example, if you see a man with like a narrow jawline, you're gonna have an impression of being more feminine, right? But you don't know that. You just sense it, right? You don't have a colloquial knowledge of it, you know, but you just know it when you see it, right? So it's like I'm teaching you what are the little things that people do that you just don't know. But you just get the impression, right? And these are the things that these are. Like, I don't care who you are. If you apply these things, you're just going to create that. So, speaking lower voice, relaxing as you speak, and also with your face. Relaxing your face. Don't be like this. What? Oh my God, what are you talking about? Relax your face. When you laugh, don't laugh. No, relax. Have a relaxed look. Just relax. Learn to have. I'm doing that like light skin, charm. Light skin guys be doing that shit like. Light skin Riz, man. No, but like just learning to have a relaxed face. Anytime you see somebody with a relaxed face, you're gonna get the impression of them having either masculinity or femininity. Right, moving slower. Don't learn to not have jerky movements. Right, notice your twitches, little twitches, massaging your face. No, relax, just relax. You don't need to be too nervous. Just relax. I should do a meditation on how to increase femininity, but just relax. If you just learn to relax, you're gonna radiate it, right? And the next thing, relax your body as well. Now look, this is what happens, right? When you're a lot of times when you're nervous, like I said, your body constricts. Your body constricts, right? Your body constricts. You're tense, right? When you relax, your body relaxes. You're just more relaxed, like this. You're just more relaxed. Now, what comes across as more confident? Notice how everything's relaxed, like it's heavy, right? It's just relaxed. What's more confident, this? Or just this? This is more confident. You don't need to tell me that. It just is. I know a girl in school who, my God, is she attractive. My Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ, have mercy. Like, Christ on the cross, unbelievable. And I was looking at her through the peers of what I teach. And one of the things that I noticed is when I first met her, she was very tense. So what's your name, Alexis? What's your name? Oh, really? Even her reactions were quick. Oh, wow, really? And I could tell she was nervous, right? But the more I knew her, the more she got more comfortable around me. And then I started noticing her movements became slower. So now she didn't go from quick. She went like, oh really? Nice, right? And I noticed when I was looking at her, when she didn't know people at first, she was very tense. But when she relaxed, I noticed that she was just more like this. And over time, I became more attracted to her, to the point where I even gave her a flower for Valentine's Day, but she rejected me. I'm not everyone's type. And what I found attractive about her is I didn't notice, but her relaxed posture as she's talking to people made her so charismatic, right? It's like a feminine charisma. Now, the next one is learning to deal with your traumas as they arise. You see, your traumas will betray you, right? It's almost like when you're asleep and you find yourself in a dream. You don't know how you got there, but you are. A lot of the times we revert back to our natural habits because we're not aware of the emotions that arise in the moment. It's like when you're talking and you're trying to apply these strategies of talking in a more relaxed way. When you get very agitated, or when people are nervous, or when people are debating, their voices unconsciously raise up because they're tense, right? They're internally on the defensive. When you're internally on the defensive, i.e., when trauma arises, your nonverbals become more tense. And so to prevent that from happening, it's because your feminine energy is just being blocked. It's not radiating because the past usually blocks what's present. So what you want to do is develop, like I said, develop mindfulness. Or I'm actually coming up, I have a course right now. It should be released by the end of the week, people. If people who purchased it by the end of the week, you guys can have access to it. It's about emotional mastery. And if you apply that course, you will be able and learn how to radiate that feminine energy. So you deal with your traumas as they arise. So when you're talking to people, if you sense that they're better than you, or you're trying to impress them, that's usually because of some trauma. There's something about them that projects a inferiority mechanism. And what you want to do is not resist it or try to fight it with force. You want to do it like Wu Wei, where you go with the punches and you just observe your reaction. You notice your breath and you just observe whatever insecurities you're feeling within you. You just observe it. You notice it. You feel insecure, you feel like you want to impress them with something that you're going to say. Notice the emotion and just breathe. Now, what the problem is that a lot of people are not going to have the mental space to do that. It's like a computer that has a lot of programs running behind. When you have a lot of programs, it processes things slower and you can't process complexity. When you have a lot of insecurities running in the background of your mind, you're not going to be aware of this, and you're actually going to forget what I told you to do, and you're going to remember it only once you're done because you're just more relaxed. Developing a meditation practice will allow you to increase the capacity to deal with intense emotions. It's almost like you're increasing the CPU of a computer. You're increasing the power of a computer. Meditation does that. It's like a hardware upgrade to allow you to deal with trauma with more relaxation, because it's all about learning how to relax with your trauma. Naturally, when you feel trauma, which is any feeling that's negative, to be honest with you, it really is, you usually don't like what you're feeling. You usually try to repress it. And what you're doing is that you're just prolonging and making it worse. What you got to do is become aware of it. It's almost like exposing yourself to a virus in order to build up immunity. You're building up immunity to this emotion. Or your body is saying, hey, can you feel this? Motherfucker, can you feel this feeling, please? So that we can just get over it. And what happens is that the more you consciously feel this emotion by recognizing it, not pushing it away. And how do you do that? Just don't try to feel better. Just don't try to feel better. Don't try to feel better. If you don't try to feel better, you're gonna notice that you're just allowing that emotion to go through all of your system. You're even gonna feel it. And it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Just relax. This is how I say to meditate: sit, feel, and be still. Sit, feel, and be still. Just sit, feel, and be still. It's gonna and you're gonna say, but I keep feeling it. Hey, can you just do what I just told you? Can you just sit? Can you just feel? And can you just be still? Sit and be still. Oh, I like when Father Alex tells me to be quiet. Shut up, Melissa. Right? And when you do that, you're just giving your body time to process these emotions, because you don't process them through thinking. You don't process them because thinking just reinforcing. It's like thinking of anger. Of course, you're going to keep thinking of what made you angry. Just feel it. Keep feeling it. And over time, you're going to notice that the next time this happens, it's like when you smoke or you take a drug. The next time you take that drug, you're just going to feel it less. And you're going to grow tolerant to the point where you don't even get high from it, where you don't even feel the pain, right? And so this trauma that naturally marinates your nonverbal cues and makes you, and just like betrays you in a way, it's gonna have a relaxing effect on your whole body. And over time, you deal with it as they arise. Over time, I remember one time I saw a guy with like 3 girlfriends. Like, I felt so insecure. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I felt so insecure. I was like, what the fuck? That was like many years ago. And at that time, I just got dumped, right? So I just felt so insecure. And I remember just like, it just killed me inside. I didn't know why. I just felt so insecure. I know why. I just felt inferior to that guy. Literally, 3 girls, it's unbelievable. And then I was like, it has nothing to do with that picture. It's just that emotion was always there. You just never acknowledged it. You didn't acknowledge it because every time you felt that, you hit up a girl to come and to validate you. You smoked weed, you did this and that. And so what I did, I just sat down and I became still. I just breathed and felt what I was feeling inside of me. I didn't focus on the imagination, the images, because it's almost like me saying, yo, why are you making me mad? No, they're not making you mad. They're just provoking what's already inside of you. So I took responsibility and said, this is not because of this. This is just a trauma that has always been there. And it's just my body saying, hey, can you feel me? And I just breathed and just kept breathing. And I kept walking, breathing, feeling, breathing, becoming aware of the environment. And over the months of me doing that, first of all, the next 2 days, I never felt so happy in my life. I'm not kidding. And the incoming months, I just kept attacking every feeling of inferiority. And people told me, I remember people telling me, Delexis, you just look more relaxed. And it's crazy. I remember this. I never got the results from women based on how I look, because I'm not an ugly person. And I remember women started approaching me after those days. Women started just coming up to me. Even my female friends started telling me how, like, there's something, like, you're hotter. I don't know why. And you're just more relaxed. You're more comfortable with yourself. And I wasn't self-aware. I wasn't aware of that. All I knew is that I was just more at peace with myself. And because of that, my masculinity just radiated from within. Dealing with your trauma has so many benefits. And what's funny is that a lot of you ladies will deal with your traumas to get that benefit. But you know what? The way I see it, good. It's a good motivation. So the next one is just not being self-conscious of it. Don't say, am I radiating feminine energy? No. Shh. Don't do that. Just deal with yourself, like almost as though nobody's watching. People will notice. It's like when you see somebody who's nervous. You could sense that somebody's nervous. They radiate the energy from within. It's the same thing with someone who's confident and has femininity emanating. And understand, femininity is just you being at ease with yourself, and your inner energy radiating, because you're a woman. It will radiate from within. So you just learn to be at ease with yourself, and all of a sudden, that energy will come through. But just don't be self-aware of how you're coming across. Because that means you're thinking. That means you're cluttering your mind up with thoughts. Just relax and allow it to flow from within. Don't lean in too much into the feminine energy as well. It's an energy. You must learn to have a masculine accent to you. To perfect this trifecta, a lot of women make them... Macy! Oh, sorry, my dog. A lot of women make the mistake of radiating just femininity. And when you try to just radiate femininity, it doesn't come across as real. A real femininity is a cocktail of masculine and feminine. Mostly feminine, but with a little bit of masculinity. You trying to prune away the masculine will only ruin what's already... You're ruining it. It's like adding too much salt. Hey, it's already good as it is. Don't ruin it. God, like, relax. Let it be masculine if it is. So what you want to do is, there are things about you that you do that naturally are masculine. What that is, I don't know. I don't know, but there are things about you that are naturally masculine. If you don't know what that is, one, you develop self-awareness, and two, you could just learn. Ask yourself, what are things that men do. Just do things that are stereotypically masculine. For example, as a guy, when I watch a woman play basketball, she's hotter. When I watch a woman do masculine things like fixing a car, or even wearing a masculine something of dressing, or like Rihanna does that, I'm gonna say to myself, oh my God, like she has a feminine energy to her, right? I mean, a masculine energy. Having masculinity will allow you to, having a hint of a masculinity will just allow you to stand out from all the other women. It's just that simple. It's as simple as that. And every guy will tell you that anytime guys are more obsessed by women with a hint of masculinity more than a woman with a hint with too much femininity. It's shit, like, we don't want to dang Barbie doll people. We want a little bit of femininity and want a little bit of masculinity. And once you do that, you'll notice that men would just become more comfortable around you. They'll want to open up more, and they'll want to hang around you more in a genuine way. All right. Now, to add strength and power to this feminine energy, you have to develop the mindset of being willing to walk away, like I always talk about, people. Being willing to walk away will allow you to radiate feminine energy with strength, and we're gonna talk about that in another day. But a lot of women assume that radiating femininity comes as though it's weakness. No, it's a type of strength that you see in a tree or a bamboo stick, where it's strong because it could bend, right? Real strength comes with being able to bend to circumstance without breaking. So you could be feminine, but also be willing to walk away. Why? Because then you're that feminine woman who's elusive to him. You're that woman who has a soft side, but paradoxically, who has a strong side. So you're soft and strong at the same time. As a man, that's rare. As a man, that will give you an energy. That's actually something that Lori Harvey does a lot, where she is feminine, but she is willing to walk away at a heartbeat. And nothing makes a man more afraid than an elusive feminine woman. You could touch her, but she's out of your reach as soon as you blink if you mess up. Being willing to walk away will allow a man to respect you more. Will allow a man to not take your feminine energy for weakness and not take you for granted. And will allow you to be feminine and not be resentful. If there's anything from this topic that I've talked about, this is the most important part. And this is the part that requires the most level of self-awareness and emotional stability. Because when you're not stable emotionally, when you're anxious, which all of those things interrupt the feminine flow, it'll just come across as weakness, not feminine. Feminine energy is strong. It's not weak. It's not fragile. It is strong, malleable, could bend with pressure. Right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. What do you think? If you like this video, you better like this video, okay? If you like this video, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. We're having a seminar in London. It's about non-verbal communication, how to project feminine non-verbal communication, similar to what I'm talking about in this video. And if you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org or click on the description down below. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you could purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and Nice Girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it, with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: Psychological Game of Attraction, which is for women who are single; Natural Chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; Nice Girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: social mastery, practical mastery in terms of how to master anything, social mastery in terms of how to master your social skills, and the laws of human nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. It's all of the work that I put in the last 4 years, in the last 5 years, actually, all of the research that I've done. And this course, rather than watching all of my videos, and because they could be random and you could sort of like lose the big picture because there's just so many videos, You guys get all of the content condensed in a course. Trust me, people, if you guys purchase this, you won't regret it. If you haven't purchased it, hopefully this will push you towards it, because it's something that I believe in, and everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle, and I'll see you guys inside.